Stand by. There we go. Hey, we're live. Hi. Hi. I'm a mess. I'm a freaking mess.
Pale as pale can be. Look at me. Light like better. No.
Working for the weekend. I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face.
Book of face.
Look at me.
Where to go?
Where to go?
There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love
Up and love.
for the community with great
Great advice.
know who I should go see.
Who's that?
Show.
That's where I go for the latest
I can't hear you over the theme song.
Show.
Show. There we go.
Down. Radio. Oh.
Show.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Kevin Poopers.
What's going on, Karis?
You know what? It's been a busy day.
Has it?
Yeah. For me.
Spent 3.5 hours on the phone with Verizon today. Does that tell you anything?
That's like the worst day ever.
Oh my God, I'd rather just run off a cliff.
Rather not be on the phone with Verizon for 3 hours.
Oh, it was awful. Awful, and it's still, and you know, God love the people that work for them, but I don't know where they get their intelligence because they have no clue what they're doing. She's like, you made this request in 2023. No shit. And I'm still being billed for it.
requesting it.
Yes. 2023, and they can't get it right. Welcome to the program, everybody. It's Hot Topic Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Hello, a hot pocket for you today.
Hot pocket.
And hi, Kevin Cooper. Jay Grant's in the house from, you know, that band. You had them play at your place. Do you know Jay? Do you remember Jay? Half-Life.
Oh yeah. Duh.
That band. Ed. So wiki.
Half-Life is such a good band. Ed is such a good photographer. Love you, Ed. My bestie.
Erica in the house.
Erica.
Did she win some money last night? Did Erica win?
Mm-hmm. She did.
I saw a picture of her. I said, congrats, Erica. Way to be in a little matching madness there.
Dude, it was busy last night. I think there was like 8 winners.
Do you think people are sick of being cooped up? I am.
Well, I'll tell you what, my business is sick of people being cooped up, so it was nice to see.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have a good night tonight too. We've had a good crowd. I'm not going to knock it, but I am waiting on that big hit it out of the park crowd. You know, things.
It's coming.
I hope so. Sean Cooper in the house from Milano's. Thanks for being here, Coop. The phone companies are the worst. Ed said, yeah, it was bad. And, you know, you can't go into a store anymore and get anybody intelligent either. There's some guy working the counter. I'd say, and he's like, I have to get a supervisor. You know, it's like, okay.
There's no supervisors available.
Yeah, and they're all at lunch every day. All right. Upgraded from hot to hot. Yes, HAWT hot.
Oh, no.
Hot Pocket Tuesday. Kevin.
Jamie from 1330, they put on a hell of a show, man. That was good.
Yeah. And then they turned around. They played this week and warmed up.
I heard that was good, too.
Blue Note. They did. Yes.
Was that the night that we had a Blackbone Cat?
Might have been.
We were packed.
Were you? Good. Blackbone Cat's a great band. Fantastic.
People just aren't drinking us. Who is that little munchkin, Kara? In your profile pic.
Hold on, I'm looking. Oh.
That's an itty bitty pitty that needs me to kiss him.
Did we get a pup, Kara?
Did you get a new puppy?
I sure hope.
I sure hope you bring him for your name that tune trivia, please. May, are you bringing him?
Maisie.
Her? Are you bringing her? Can I
Okay.
have her?
Get excited.
Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Ray. Hey,
Hi, Anna.
Anna. Girl.
Girl. Yes.
Well, I know it's Maisie, but are you going to bring her? Who is her?
Don't you have two, Kara? Or you had two? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
That pink dress.
Yes. Hi, Rick Piper. Your hot pink dress. You were posted
My
red
condom.
dress, whatever it was. Yes, your body condom.
My body condom. I wonder if that would even fit.
Well, you know.
I was fit as a freaking fiddle back then.
Maisie.
I was
It's
toy.
Maisie that
Toy.
passed away. That's
Hey,
right.
Erica, don't laugh.
I'm sorry about that, Kara. That's the picture of me.
Oh.
Little. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
Hi,
sorry.
Josh Lawson. Thanks for being here. Dirk Turner. Thank you. Hey, it's Hot Topic Tuesday. We got some topics to talk about.
Hi, Matt Anderson.
Do we have some topics to talk about today?
There's lots of topics.
There's a lot of people sending us stuff and wanting to chat about it. And by the way, you're looking exceptionally Twilight Zoney today with that light shining in from above.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking very good at all today.
Your crown is beaming today. We all know that doesn't ring true, but you know,
No.
you maybe wear devil horns, not crown. Bob Klein in the house. Hi,
Hi,
Bob.
Bob. Bob, are you in Key West?
He is jerk.
Love you.
What did you say?
I said, love you.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Hey,
Thanks, Kara. I just got it done today.
I had one come up, a topic come up, and let's kick it off with that. And we've got several to hit on in case the people that are on today just don't dig this one. Hi, Josh Baker.
Hi, Josh Baker. See you soon.
Let's talk about because it segues out of last week's topic a little bit, and it's when you're booking your band, how do you know what bars to choose is what I want to bring up. I guess that's the best way I can say it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're starting out, because there are certain times that, and I heard somebody say the other night, oh, we finally got 2 hours of music. And I'm thinking that is not someone who should be playing some of these killer music venues that require, at least 3 hours of music plus and all that. And if you're going to book yourself somewhere, you probably should start small or get in like on the opening act for somebody, type thing or something, because I guess the question for everybody out there in the audience today is, how do you know when it's appropriate to contact an established establishment who, really features the top bands? And I don't want to segue this into the Bell and the Bear completely, because I'm talking about some venues by me that tend to book some top level bands, and they require at least 3 hours of music, and they require you to not play the same songs every time you play there.
So you just said the key word, and I feel like say that to like these bands that are booking, say those exact words that Scott Hall just said. When do you know when you should be trying to book your band at an established establishment? Well, use those words. Are you an established band? Can you look at the venue that you're trying to go into and look? Like, this is when research comes into hand. This is when research is really important, and self-awareness. Research and self-awareness. If you're going to come and try to book at one of those, like Heather's, they're really well known for having top level bands. So if you just started like six months ago, 1 year ago, even maybe sometimes 2 years ago, and only have like a handful or two handfuls of shows under your belt, and you look at the bands, and if you did your research and had some self-awareness, and you looked at Heather's calendar, do you add up to that? Are you an established band? Because she's booking established bands.
And we're not even talking comparing yourself to other bands musically or whatever. We're talking
this has
about
nothing to do with that.
Established as in you have the professional mentality, and you've built that mentality by playing a lot of shows. And I really cringe sometimes when I see bands out trying to book themselves in those venues that have top shelf entertainment. And it's not that they're bad. You're good at what you do, but you got to get your act together before you do that. You've got to have the songs. You've got to be able to change things up on the fly. If the crowd's not digging what you're doing, you got to be able to call an audible and move on. And some of these bands, man, they've got a set list, and here's our songs, and this is the only songs we know, that we can play together. When you throw some musicians together, they can play anything,
If you're saying that, if you're saying this is the set list we have, these are the only songs we know, you're not ready.
Bottom line, that's perfect. Thank you for that.
But that goes back to self-awareness.
Yeah.
Which you're right, Bob, but that goes back to self-awareness. If you have a list of limitations opposed to a list of abilities, then perhaps that more established venue, perhaps you're just not ready yet for that more established venue. Just yet. Doesn't mean you're not talented. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be ready. But maybe if your list of limitations is longer than your list of abilities, you're not ready.
Well, let's face it, Karis, wouldn't you want, as a band, if you're a new band and you get booked in a place, wouldn't you want the crowd and the owner to say, wow, at the end of the night versus, oh, they just weren't quite ready? I mean, I think that's some of it that comes up. You see it a lot. They just weren't quite ready to play our stage. They weren't established enough, to use that term again.
Yeah, it's a very good term. It's a very good word. Yeah, you do. And, when I was first starting out, I wasn't an established venue. And for the first three years, I wanted to give everybody, everybody. But as soon as I was becoming more established, I had the ability to be a little more picky,
Exactly, Megan. Look at the other bands.
And Megan, that's the research I'm talking about. People, I'm just going to say this, and I know that it's a lot of people that have done this, and so it's not, no offense to anyone, because I know there's somebody in our audience right now, and it's fine. There's no problem with it, but it is a tiny bit of a pet peeve for me. To me, doing your research on a venue is exactly what Megan said, is seeing who's playing where, what, and also making an effort to go to that venue before you ask to work at that venue. You should go to the venue, in my opinion, and see what they're about, and then build a full show, visit. Thank you, Kevin. Build a full show, visit the venue. Do they hire bands that do what you do? And would their clientele like your style? Self-awareness and research.
Yeah, and you may be the best jazz fusion band ever, but it's not going to work in some venues.
Yeah, I get it.
That. I mean, you could be fantastic. You could be accomplished. You could get awards, but you're still not going to turn on some venues because they're just not into that music. I think Kevin's got it spot on there. He does.
Yeah, he does. And it's interesting. I get a lot of jazz bands reaching out to me. I'm like, I'm not a jazz club. There's a reason why there are jazz clubs out there. Yeah. Because it's such a particular thing. Now, there are a few venues down in OTR and downtown that they can do that whole mix, but you're not going to see a heavy rock and roll show at those venues. It's just not going to happen. Yeah.
Tip, your band is probably not the one that's going to change what the venue does. That's very true. And Karis, you've come out of your comfort zone a few times and booked some bands that, you were like, because you used to say, basically you didn't do country in your bar. And then you found a couple bands that work that do country. I mean, every time Kevin McCoy plays there, Michelle Robinson plays there, they kill it.
Well, and I mean, there's about 5 country bands that I'm willing to book because I know that they do well. What is Mark saying? If you're really hungry and honestly feel you're ready, then ask to play an opening spot to prove yourself. Maybe even offer it for free if you're confident it will get you a real date. Do your homework on where your band will be a fit. Yeah, I don't know about, I'm still not going to book somebody for a free show if I don't think that they're going to fit the thing, but I will ask them to come to our Thursday jam so we can see how the crowd reacts. But if you only know 3 songs, if you're only putting out your best 3 songs and then that's all you got, because I've fallen for that before.
I really agree with what Mark said there about getting yourself a spot, but I will tell you, I've seen that backfire as well.
Yes.
I've seen, there's a big crowd for the band that's going to play that night. They're in there, and an opener gets up there who just wasn't ready to play the stage, and then sucks the life out of the audience in 5 songs. I mean, it can happen. So be careful with that.
Yeah, there was I won't mention the band, but there's a band, and they took it upon themselves to bring in an opener without even discussing it with me or running it by me. And first of all, nothing happens on my stage without discussing it with me. That's my stage. You know what I mean? And it was not good. It was not good at all.
We mentioned it on the show one day. I watched an act that gets booked for a pretty good dollar. It's a solo act, but they get booked for a pretty good dollar, and they brought an opener and then let the opener play throughout the evening, like 4 or 5 or 6 songs a set. Let that opener. So basically it was the opener that played, and that act that was being paid played a handful of songs.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Jeff,
you have definitely an interesting sound, and I don't think that it would fit anywhere. I don't even know if it fit in the Bell, but people liked it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, it's great music. You guys were fantastic. Is it the Bell's normal? No, it's not. But the people that were there, they dug it, you know?
Thanks, Quentin. Ladder's going to be there this weekend on Saturday at the Bell and the Bear. And if you haven't seen Ladder yet, which is going to segue me into another topic here in just a few minutes, but if you haven't seen Ladder, you need to come see them. They're a fantastic band.
Fantastic.
Who is virtually unknown in the Cincinnati market because they're from north of Dayton, play up there most of the time. And we'll get into that little comment here in just a few. But let's stay on this one about knowing when to approach a venue, because it depends on your act, I think, as well. If you're a solo or duo, there are venues that fit that all day long. And there's a lot of opportunities for that out there for you to find a place to play. And you go in and offer, and yeah, there's musicians who post every day about all these undercutting people working for $50 and a slice of pizza and all that. But, you know, to get in the door as a solo performer and you think you've got what it takes, there are venues out there just for you. I mean, you can get in. You're not going to make a lot of money. Don't do it for the money. Do it for the craft, and get up there and play and get an established endorsement from people that they say, yeah, this guy was good. And when other bar owners talk to that bar owner, they'll say, yeah, I had them in and they were good. But when it comes to a band, a full band, you better be ready. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of people. And if one guy screws it up, it can be totally chaos up on that stage. And we've seen it happen too many times.
Mark, you're preaching my prayer, boy. That's what I'm saying. Do the work, be prepared, like self-aware. That's the problem. There's very little self-awareness out there, to the point here, Bubby, go get it, to the point that there are still bands, like, if you're not getting booked at all,
Kareem,
that's a really good sign that maybe you have some work to do. Like, if you've played out and then you're just not getting rebooked again, that's a moment for you to be honest with yourselves and say, we've got some work to do.
And Bob Klein said it earlier, first impressions are lasting ones. And if you come in unprepared and you play a stage and you have a crap show, that's going to last a lot longer. I always said, as I was a leader in a fire department, I always said to the young recruits, one careless, unthinking act that you do can screw up 1,000 good ones.
Yeah.
And it's that way in the music business too. Get up there, you blow it. I mean, look at what freaking Billy Ray Cyrus just did to himself. He never was liked by a lot of people, and then he just,
what did he do?
He did an inauguration thing or whatever, and it was terrible. And I don't know if he was drunk, if he's got drug problems or whatever. He's a super guy. I've met him. I've done shows with him. Awesome guy. And I hate that to happen for him. But one show is all the people are talking about. They're not talking about the thousands of good ones where the crowd loved him. And the same thing can happen to your new band. And I think that's something to consider. Look in the mirror, as Kara said, and say, are you established?
Use that word. Are you established?
Yes.
Can you? Here's some really good, and I'm just using these names because I know them, because they are established bands. But if you're coming to the Bell and the Bear, first of all, do you know who, like the list, my usuals that always, play? Do you know Miss Jackie? Do you know Blackbone Cat? Do you know Under the Sun? Do you know those three? If you have you seen those three? Do you honestly think you're on that level? They are established. Are you there yet? No? Why are you asking to play there? You know what I mean? Like, you should ask, that's fine, but you're going to probably hear you're not ready just yet.
Steve, thank you for that comment. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I used to call in the business the Benjamin factor. Because people will book bands if they have a huge following, even though they may suck. And I've seen bands on stage that were awful, but it's like, why are all these people here? They have a cult following, and the venue's going to book them because of that, because it makes money. I mean,
You're right, Kareem. If you're shooting your shot, that's fine. But when somebody says no, your shot's done. Move on. I'm talking about the people that don't. They're like, well, yeah, we've got it. You don't have it. You don't have it yet. You're not there yet. That doesn't mean you're not going to be. It's the word yet. That's it. Just wait.
Kevin says not a big fan of the undercutting argument venue should have been.
What is this undercut? What do you mean undercutting?
Pricing.
Oh, well, you know what? I just had a whole conversation with somebody, a band, who was like, this is what we charge. I said, okay, I can't afford that. Thank you so much. It's probably, well, we really want to play there. I said, yeah, but I really don't want to disrespect you, because and I'm the one who said, don't, take less than what you think you deserve. There's other venues out there. I can't afford to pay you that. That's not what I'm paying. I can only hold 165 people in here. This is not, those bigger venues.
And that's the thing to ask yourself too. That's a good point you just said, because can I fill a 100-seat venue? Can I fill a 50-seat venue? Do I have enough people that'll come see me for that? Or can I fill the Blue Note? I mean, it's a whole different world out there to tier what venues you're looking to get booked in.
Yeah.
Because it's like going to Lori's Roadhouse. It's a beautiful place. Well done, all that. But 50 people in there, the term dead applies, because 50 people in that bar is nothing. 1,000 people in that bar starts to look busy. So that's a factor as well. How does your show look? How does the draw look? And the days of people going out 7 days a week, it's not happening anymore.
No.
It's a shame. I mean, those days in the 80s where you went and followed the same band 5 nights a week. No, it's just not, that's not where it's at anymore. So you got to pick wisely, I think, and it goes back to being established again.
Chad, I didn't think your show was as bad as you keep saying. It really wasn't that bad. But I did hear that Chad has one of the best solo gigs out there.
Applehead? Are we talking to Applehead? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm late in the comments here. Right. All right. I'm trying to catch up.
I agree with that, Kareem. I agree.
So if anybody's out there in a band, what is your thought process on this? How do you decide what venues to approach? Do you do research? I hope you do.
I really hope you're doing research.
Do you see who's playing there?
See who's playing there and ask yourself, am I up to that level?
Thank you, Roger. That's so true. It is. Thank you, Joyce. Visitor. I love Visitor. Night Blaze was a household name. It was. Mike Shooter. Night Blaze was a group of cops and firemen playing in a band that went to all the schools and played and stuff. It was kind of cool. It was fun. Had a killer drummer. They did, and a guitar player wouldn't have bad either. Ray says she's tried to book Lori's until you saw the bands like they're there. They used to do exclusive country, and yeah, it's you also got to know the fit. And some bars are not going to book you based on your demographic, what you're drawing, what you're playing. And Karis caught us on a total train wreck night. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I didn't think I mean, I know what he's talking about. I'm positive it wasn't his best night. I understand what he's getting at, but it really wasn't that, but you could still hear the talent in there.
Thanks, Joshua. That's good. Know your worth. That's a good one.
Definitely know your worth. And that was the thing. And this, I was like, I'm not going to, I don't want to disrespect you, but that's not what I can afford, you know? But so here's the thing. Joshua makes a good point. Know your worth as an artist, know your worth as a venue. It goes both ways.
Let me see what Stephanie says here from White Knuckle Weekend and Finding Melissa. Thank you, Stephanie. Says we look at other groups that play at the venue and decide if we are at that level. Smaller venue for our smaller projects, larger venue for our larger ones.
That's okay. So, and Stephanie, this is no disrespect. It's a personal opinion for me. If I'm seeing your band, and I happen to see your band at I guess a bigger venue, and you've got your full. I'm assuming you're talking about bringing out, if you have a 6-piece band, 7-piece band, that's your larger for your larger venue, and then you cut it down to 3 or 4-piece or something like that. If I'm booking a band, I'm booking. I don't the amount of talent on that stage. In my opinion, I'm not going to get the smaller version because I have a smaller venue. I may have a smaller venue, but I have a big sound. And I'm not looking to cut the talent or sound. And I know everybody says, "Oh, it's still the same talent." It's not. It's definitely not the same show, because if it was the same show, then there wouldn't be 2 different ones, right? So I'm not a fan of that.
Well, and I know Stephanie's talking about, she's in 2 different bands. She's in a larger band called White Knuckle Weekend, and she's in a smaller band, a 3-piece called Finding Melissa. So it's
2 different bands. That's different.
Totally things. But some bands do, like Ladder has Step Ladder. They strip it down to a smaller version to play smaller venues and things like that. But your stage is different. It's a big band stage in a small room. I mean, that's just. But so many rooms bigger than yours have stages the size of a postage stamp, and you can't put a band in there. And there are some people that stretch the limit on sizes of bands in local establishments that seat 90 or 100 people. I mean, it's their choice to pay that kind of money, but it's hard to break even. As well as I do, it's hard to break even with a small or with a large band that commands a pretty hefty dollar, and then you can only seat 160 people in your bar. You can only make so much money in a night.
Thanks, Mason. Mason.
I'm trying to get to his comment.
Sorry.
There it is. Yeah. Thank you, Mason. Getting out and checking it out, going to the venue.
That's what I'm talking about. Go to the venue. Now, there are certain times where I book people that I know haven't come to my venue. There's, but I'm reaching out to me and me saying, "Have you ever been to the venue?" And they go, no, we've meant to come out. Well, come out then. Then we'll have this discussion, But like, I was at a party, and this band was playing, and it had a whole bunch of our regulars there at this party. And they're playing in February, and I don't think they had come to my bar. In fact, because I think they just went there this past weekend. And I asked them, because literally all of my regulars were there, and they love them, and they were good, So that's different. But I appreciate that, Mason. You should always go to the venue. You want them to hire you, support them.
And Josh, that's a great comment too. Professionalism.
That's a big one.
Huge one. Be professional. And that if you missed last week's show, we talked about being unprofessional and sending venue messages and things like that. And Mike, when you guys played out, you did have a crew come every time you were playing. And the other thing there is oversaturation. We've talked about that on the show, where you don't want to overbook yourself, because then your crowd's going to fall off. They're not going to come see you 6 nights a week, or they're not going to come see you even 4 times a month sometimes.
Right.
So MySpace was even a thing yet. So you had to, exactly. I mean, you did. And you had to do things to promote yourself back then. It was a lot harder back then. And we've been down that road too. Why bands don't book or promote themselves and talk about their bookings and things on social media. They're foolish. It's free advertising, man. Free.
Like Ladder lives quite a distance from the Bell, but they still came and dropped off posters, Can
I segue into my next little?
Yeah, let's do that.
We got some time left. I want to ask the people that are watching today to answer this question. Why is it when good bands travel a distance, okay, 30 miles, 40 miles, no one comes to see them? Is it because they're virtually unknown in that area? Because it's, you know, it's like an expert traveling 20 miles from home with a briefcase. You're an expert on something, but you're really not. But the band itself is doing a great job. They kill it wherever they play. They fill rooms in their geographic location, but then they'll travel to Cincinnati from Dayton. It's hard to get people there unless you promote the living daylights out of it, such as Ladder's trying to do for this weekend. And I can't encourage you more, folks. If you're out and about on Saturday, I know we promoted another show on Saturday on the Wednesday with the band show last week and all that, but I will tell you that you definitely want to get out and see Ladder. If you're not committed to the other show we talked about, please go see Ladder at the Bell and the Bear if you're in Cincinnati, because you're going to miss out on a great opportunity to see a fantastic band from up north that needs a Cincinnati following. They do. But I'm looking at people don't want to drink and drive most of the time. Yeah, well, I'm not even talking about why. I don't expect your audience to travel 30 miles or 40 miles with you. That's a band road trip. They do bring people, but most of the time people don't do that. They go to their local establishment. That's where they're safe and they feel good about, you know, going back home from there. What I want to know is why the locals who frequent a building don't come to that. Because, I don't know that band, so I'm going to go somewhere else tonight. Why don't you give them a shot? I mean, give them a shot.
Well, I think that's, you know, and that's the risk. And that's one of the reasons that we don't usually book out of town bands, but.
And you've had some failures with out of town bands that were really good bands that just.
They were excellent bands. And some of them, but like with Ladder, what was it that were you the reason why we booked Ladder? Because they were so good. Yeah, you were the reason, right?
Well, yeah, you called me one day and said you had a cancellation and you need a band like for the next 2 weeks or from then or something. And
yeah, I reached out to them.
These guys were great.
They were so good. They were so good, and they brought some people, and I know they're going to bring some people. And you know what? There's certain bands that I'm willing to at least try to. If they suit my bar, I'm willing to try it, you know?
Carla, it's Saturday.
Huh?
Carla's asking the date for Ladder.
Saturday.
It's Latter, and it's Saturday at the Bell. 8:30-ish. Ish. Yes. Oh, Jim Kilroy's late again.
I don't want to see them at times. I just can't. Oh, Randy, you're just too kind.
Kevin Tolles, thanks for that comment there I put up a minute ago. That's true. And
it is true.
Not known locally, though. People have this stigma about bands that aren't known locally. It's like, we'll go somewhere else tonight. Go give them a shot. You may
at least go in for give them a little bit of a shot. Like check it out once, because you're going to be, especially at one of those established venues, you might be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, Randy, I feel the same way. I mean, somebody said, Kara said something about going and seeing Under the Sun. I've yet to see Under the Sun, and I mean, I want to. It just hasn't worked out for me. And sometimes you just can't make it. You know, I promoted the Genesis Retouch show for Saturday that our friend Jim Quest is in, and Adam Wheeler and all that. I'm not going to make that show, but I'm going to try my best to make Ladder on Saturday night. And get to see my friends play at the Bell and the Bear, which I mean, because they play north of me as far as north of me as it is to go to the Bell for me south. So I'm looking forward to that. What's Applehead saying? Yeah. And, you know, when there are certain venues that are established like that have that, they bring outsiders in, like Chicago and Nashville and places that people go because they know they're always going to see good entertainment in that venue. But it's this stigma that it hurts me to see sometimes, because great bands, and I can tell you there's bands in Cincinnati that command huge dollars and they travel north to Dayton and there's nobody there to see them. And I mean, they're a great, fantastic artist, and it's sad to see that happen. It's like people are like in their little circle, their bubble, and that's all you get. What are you reading that you're so
Well, there's two. Taz's comment. I'm a little confused about what he's trying to say, and then Bronson Hetzer. Who are you? Where are you from, Bronson? It's not a uncommon question to ask. Do you bring a crowd? And no shit, it comes from both sides. If you've ever seen this show, you know I know that. Hence why it's not uncommon for me to ask, do you bring a crowd? Because it's got to come from both sides.
I'm reading the comments here. I'm trying to get them up on the screen. Lots of competition to see. Yeah. And there are certain bands. I know Taz travels.
A lesser band that was regrettable.
Are you ahead of me? Oh.
No, what is he saying? Are you insulting Half-Life? I'm so confused. But
No.
What's
I think it was probably regrettable that he saw the lesser bands, what I'm reading out of that. I don't know.
Oh, I'm trying to understand that.
All right. Jeff Vance. All right, I'm getting there. I'm getting to Bronson's comment here next. And
who is that? Where's he from?
Bronson says he
I know, that's the one where I'm like,
I'm gonna let him answer here for you, but all right. And Bob loves playing Sleepy Towns where nothing's going on.
Let me just say,
game in town.
Bronson and everybody else, if a venue owner doesn't ask you if you bring a crowd, they're not doing their research.
Why is that an insult to some musicians? I don't think Bronson meant that as an insult, but why is that an insult to some musicians?
No.
This bar owner had the audacity to ask me. Well,
and then you have to throw in there the side, like it's got to come from both. No shit, it's got to come from both sides. I'm the one paying you. Like,
yeah, Don says under the sun's worth the effort. Thank you, Don. I plan to see them. I really do. Hi, Jordan. It's good to see you yesterday. I went to Jordan's grandfather's visitation yesterday morning, and I got to spend some time with my friend Jordan there, and it was great to see you, Jordan. Let's see. Following is made of people. We got to cut out here in a few minutes, but I'm trying to get to all these comments.
That's true.
Yeah, Kevin Cooper. That is so good. Discovered you by accident. And isn't that cool that they did? They stumbled in a place and it was like, this band's really good. And that's what I wish would happen more often. And people would lose the stigma of, I've got to know the band name before I go see them.
No, I'm sorry about that, Bronson. It's just such an odd, I didn't mean to come up. I was trying to understand a bunch of comments. I apologize for that. We were trying to figure out why do bands get so offended by that though? You know?
Boy, they do.
They do. And I don't know why. Like
Bronson says, yeah, okay.
Sorry about that, Bronson. I didn't mean to come across as snappy and cunty.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for being here. Yeah, everybody has many choices.
Yeah, and you want to support your local, and I get that. I totally get that.
Carl follows Ladder because of the show, but I've never seen them play. Might have to come down Saturday night. Well, hang out with me, Carl. I'll come down. We'll hang out a little at the Bell and the Bear, man. I'd love to see you and introduce you to some people down there. Carl travels with That Arena Rock show. We know those guys. They're lots of fun. Quentin, okay. I'm just checking it all out. Thank you, Jordan.
Carl. It was good to see you yesterday.
Yeah, Bronson's in the Filthy Heathens, by the way. I let him answer your questions there before we got into that, and that band is awesome, by the way. I've only seen video, but I can tell you they're awesome. Yeah, let's get through these. Karis, anything else you want to share as we're going off today? Who you got playing this weekend? All that. Why don't you cover that for just a minute?
Yeah, well, we have trivia tonight, and then tomorrow we have karaoke with Ray Renee. On Thursday we jam, which is always so much fun. Friday, Cassette Junkies with Megan Miller and the crew, and then Saturday, Ladder, which we're really excited about. And I do hope that people do come out and give Ladder a shot. So I know that there's always competition, but you guys will not be disappointed.
How did I not know you had Cassette Junkies on Friday?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I might need a cot at the Bell over the weekend.
I
Okay.
need to open up a little bed and breakfast.
Yeah, could you do that upstairs or something? Oh, yeah. Grocery store who? Steve Shoemaker. Grocery store vodka. We love.
That's the name of a band?
Yes, I love that band.
That's a great name.
We've talked about them before, but they're really cool cats. They're fun. Yes. And that's another one, Cassette Junkies. I've seen Megan perform, but I've never seen the entire band.
Megan's a good performer.
Yeah. And Ray, karaoke with you tomorrow too. That's right. Ray Renee at the Bell and the Bear. That'll be fun. And I've got trivia tonight at the Miamisburg Moose. So if you want to get your moose on, come on out. We'll be having some fun there with Taco Tuesday. Burritos.
Audrey, I like your Facebook page. You have fun on that. I like that.
Who's that?
Audrey's Frogtown Tavern. I just know that I went on their Facebook page and they just have fun on their Facebook page, and I like that.
Wow, look at all this. Josh Baker, thank you. She's a great lead in Cassette Junkies. Thank you for that. Hi, Darren. I think grocery store vodka is in effect on the show here. So, Karis, tomorrow, friend of yours is joining me on Wednesday with the band who ran your voice competition, I believe. Courtney and Nick are going to join me.
Nice.
Tomorrow on the show, and that'll be loads of fun. Coming up down the road, we've got the Peter and Ed from the Winter Blues Experience going to join us on our Wednesday with the band. We've got our friend the Bacchus Entertainment joining us to talk about an event they've got, a beer fest event they're going to have. And we've got, it's been busy with the Wednesday with the band thing. So if you want to be featured on that show, send me a message. We'll get you in the queue to get a date and all that to be with us. And it's so much fun. And John says Abe's Lincoln's going to be up here in the Columbus area. So yeah, there you go. John, you travel a lot for bands. He travels a long way. So we appreciate anybody that does that. And Karis, that's about it for today's great show.
Good show, guys.
I really love these shows where everybody interacts and comments and all that. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
So you got anything else?
Let's save stuff.
Okay.
Plus, you need to go do your thing.
Yeah, I do. I have to go do trivia, but I already set up this afternoon, so I'm pretty much golden. I'm just going to walk in and drop the mic.
Hold on. Do Mark Feldman. He's got a big one here.
Okay.
If I owned a club, I'd look for bands that had a mixture of talent, professionalism, showmanship, and most importantly, played the music that fits my audience in order to build a bass house audience. A following would be great, and I'd pay those bands more, but it wouldn't stop me from trying other bands that would fit and possibly build on my bass crowd.
That's good.
That's 100% true. What would you do if, and that's called an established venue, right? They did their research, they took their time, and they made themselves an established venue and an established a bass crowd. What would you do next? Once you've got that established bass crowd, you would hire established bands.
Bob Klein, thank you. Have fun in the Keys, buddy.
No, he just came back from the Keys.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah.
I thought he was still down there. See, I'm not up on the Bob gossip. You are, obviously.
He just put it on there.
Did he? Okay. Hey, say goodbye, Karis.
Goodbye, Karis.
See y'all. We love y'all. Thank you for
Love
watching.
you all.
Hit that little share button, will you? Sharing is caring, people. Share the show.
Sharing is caring.
We'd love to have big numbers. We like big numbers.
Big numbers. We like
But-
established numbers.
And I cannot lie. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey, you got any lip balm? I got a cracked lip right here. Can you help me out?
This one?
Yeah, right there. It's there.
Working for the weekend.
I love you.
See your show.
I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where
Thanks,
to
Carla.
go.
Thanks, Carla.
There's a man over there.
Thanks, Mark Robinson and Sweet Sister Mercy, for singing our theme song. Oh, I got to get out of here.